Ho ho ho, and a very Merry Christmas from all at 67 Hail Hail. I hope you're in the midst of having a very wonderful Christmas day, although maybe not if you've decided that the company's so bad that you're going to turn your phone or laptop on and watch me chat about Celtic. That maybe doesn't say a lot. I'm having a fine day. I've just scranned my Christmas dinner. That's a lie, actually. I'm actually on my own this year. I'm in isolation on my own on Christmas Day.
There's a lot of violin playing around the place, mate. We're not going to be one of them.
Sorry, Ange. But genuinely, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope the big man behind me brought you some wonderful presents. He's got a great eye for a player, that fella, especially from Japan. He also brings gifts, though, and he may even have brought the gift that you're watching me on. So, that's fantastic if that's the case. The Celtic players, though, certainly won't be having quite as much fun as you are because they have a big game tomorrow. It's a visit to bottom of the table St Johnstone. That's just how poor they've been this season. As you'll know, we've beaten them twice already this season. Added to that, they've scored just 10 goals. We have conceded just 11 in the league. So surely an easy win. Well, I think it's actually going to be a bit of a struggle tomorrow against St Johnstone. I was feeling that way before, even hearing some injury news, but when Ange delivered a bit of a kind of short injury update yesterday, that has only strengthened my feeling. The bad news is that Ange reckons we are looking at pretty much the same squad as we had for the game against St Mirren. He says that maybe one or two players could return, but that in general it will be the same group of players that we are turning to again to try and get the 3 points. We're still going to be without the likes of David Turnbull, James Forrest, Jota, of course, as well. The good news is that Kyogo could be back, given that it's the last game before the winter break. There's really no kind of necessity to rest him at all. Carl Starfelt should be back as well after missing out against St Mirren due to a suspension. He is in my predicted 11, which you'll see now, partnering Cameron Carter-Vickers again with Josip Juranovic and Greg Taylor surely back into the starting lineup too. Other than that, perhaps just Kyogo up front, Joe Hart back as well. The Hart stuff is kind of interesting. Ange says he didn't rest players on Wednesday night, so from that we can only assume that Hart wasn't fit, able to play in that match. So whether he's back for St Johnstone is a topic of much debate, I'm sure. I'm actually not too worried about Joe Hart being back or not. I don't think not having Joe Hart was the reason we didn't beat St Mirren the other night. It was obviously in an attacking sense. If Scott Bain's in, then so be it. It's for one game only. Put it this way, if I had a choice between getting Kyogo back and Joe Hart back, it would obviously be Kyogo that I'd want. But that's the team that I'm looking to do the business tomorrow. You could potentially have Josip Juranovic playing further up with Anthony Ralston at right back, but I don't think Ange will do that to Liel Abada, who he obviously likes. A big afternoon as well for the likes of Mikey Johnson, and it would be just great if Tom Rogic would turn on a bit of Christmas magic for us. I don't even know if there's such a thing as Christmas magic, but I'm going with it anyway. Now, Celtic have struggled away from home in the past couple of games. I think tomorrow feels like a big game though. Now, I know every game when you support, play for Celtic is a big game. But let's face it, the cup final was the biggest game of the last 10 days. And Ross County away and St Mirren away aren't two of the more glamorous away days in the league. Now, I get that St Johnstone isn't either. But I think that St Johnstone tomorrow, given that it's the final game before the winter break, feels like a huge game. And in general, Celtic have turned up and won big games under Ange so far this season. So I think we'll see an improved performance from Celtic tomorrow. Another thing that we'd really like to see from Celtic, and I assume I speak for everyone here, is a more clinical edge in front of goal. The amount of chances we've created over the past couple of months and we've not taken them, and we've kind of got away with it in a lot of games. We've won most of our games in the last couple of months by a single goal, but it kind of caught up with us a little bit on Wednesday. Now, Captain Callum McGregor thankfully realises that this is an issue, and he actually revealed that the lack of clinical edge in front of goal has been a topic of conversation in the dressing room. After the St Mirren game, McGregor said, "It was really frustrating. We had enough opportunities, balls flashed across the face of goal, enough chances in general to win the game. We've spoken about it internally. We shouldn't need 10 chances to win a game. 1 or 2 should be enough. The way teams are setting up against us now, it's more than likely we're going to need to get 1 or 2 to score and get your points. It's something to work on in training." The goals have dried up a little bit lately. We've scored just 9 in our last 6 league games since scoring 4 at Dens Park against Dundee. The days of scoring 6 against St Mirren and Dundee at the start of the season seem a fair bit away. Part of that will be teams working out the way they have to play against us to stand a chance. Another part of it will be just how difficult it's been with injuries, and obviously December being such a taxing month. But hopefully tomorrow we can get the 3 points and ideally a few goals as well. I'm personally hoping that the winter break having been moved will have given the team a new lease of life. They just need the 3 points tomorrow and then they can evaluate from there. It's going to be a strange game. In case you've been living under a rock for the last week, we won't have a Celtic support at the game. There'll be just 500 fans. Well, actually less than that, because I think the 500 number includes staff and possibly even players and board members and stuff like that. So you're actually probably looking at a crowd of maybe 350, 400. It's going to be a bit of a shock given what we've been used to, tens of thousands going to most Celtic games in Glasgow over the last couple of months. So we have to get used to that. But I'm backing Celtic to get a big result. We will have the reaction for you tomorrow. Stevie, I think, is going to give up his Boxing Day beers to chat to me. Don't have a clue why he's doing that, but I'm very glad he is. We will be with you after the game, and fingers crossed we're chatting about a big 3 points for Ange's Celtic. Now I'm going to take this hat off.